This article focuses on the role of mass media in education, on interethnic tolerance. I kind of obviously focused more on the mass media side of that because one of the main points of this article was for us to consider not only our national experience but the international one. So since we live in a fairly globalized world, and so it seems like we're always shrinking and getting closer to other people, but our book described globalization as a process of cultural domination because comparatively to the population of the world, the percentage of people that create the more influential parts of our media is a very, very small percentage. So countries like the United States, some countries in Europe, they have a lot more voice than some of those outlying countries to kind of influence the ideals and the values that are put into the media and portrayed really heavily in media. Like in chapter 5 of our book, it said television can influence politics by ignoring a story, but it can also exert influence by framing an issue in a certain way. So if we framed issues more from the point of view of a very tolerant, ideal, tolerant perspective, our news would look a lot different, and our students and the younger people, and even like the slightly older people in the world, they could see that tolerance, and it would kind of enter into their psyche and their mind, so they would be able to spread that tolerance around a little more. Because chapter 9 in our book said, our ideas are relayed through social discourse, and how our socialization and institutions, and how through our socialization and institutions we learn to represent our thinking. So since the internet and all the different forms of media that we have, it seems really easy to think that we've gotten better at expressing our opinions, we've gotten better at expressing all of these things, but we all kind of live in our own media bubbles where we just find the media that kind of reflects what we already think, reflects people similar to us. But if a lot of our media had tolerance, I think it's more likely that we would search out other viewpoints and other perspectives, because we don't have to agree with them to tolerate them and like hear them out. My favorite point from the article that I read was, if children live in conditions of rivalry, they learn to be violent. If children live with recognition, they learn to be friendly. But if the children live in conditions of tolerance, they learn tolerance. So if we, as a globalized community, can figure out how to be more tolerant of other viewpoints, it will expand all of our worlds, because mass media is capable of developing a human conscience even faster and deeper than educational, mentoring, and cultural institutions. Because mass media is all around us, we're constantly bombarded by the media in all its various forms throughout our world, throughout our entire lives. So it makes sense that if we ingrained some of those more those ideals that kind of protect the world in a wider sense, not ideals that are specific to one culture, but ideas and ideals that kind of teach us all to be better global citizens, the world will slowly improve, and our ever-shrinking world can start to expand again because of all those opinions and viewpoints and everything like that.